Welcome to Spain, Poco a Poco.
Hello. Today, I'm so excited. We're going to talk about jamón, which is, we could talk about this for hours, let me just tell you, but
But we're going to do it in 10 to
we're
15
going to make it
minutes.
succinct. We're going to try. So
I will say, I think it's very interesting. When my first visit to Spain, I was not expecting to see pig legs hanging everywhere in grocery stores, at the airport.
mhm.
Jamon is a big deal here. I mean,
It
they
is.
are
It is. And
everywhere.
I'll say, and I don't know if they have this in sort of more regional parts of Spain still, but when I first came to Spain several decades ago, I mean, just the regular bars, they were curing them just hanging from the ceiling there. So your bar
Oh,
experience
that's
was just
crazy.
ham on hanging from the ceiling. And now, of course, you go to the grocery store, you go to places where they just have lots of them, and that's sort of where you're buying it, but they've been cured somewhere, probably a bit more covered.
And the prices vary from 50
Hmm.
euros for a whole leg to like 1,000 euros. It's
You can
insane.
spend a
And
lot.
we're going to get into
We're going to get
why.
into why right here because we have different types of hamon. So if you're coming from another country where you've just seen hamon every now and again or a prosciutto, you maybe just have only had experience of a few, but there is a massive variety of different types of hamon. So the most sort of luxurious one, the most expensive one, is the hamon Ibérico, which is the Iberian ham, which is from this peninsula, and it's from pigs that are native and unique to the Iberian Peninsula. So that's why it's a very special hamon to Spain.
And if it has a black hoof, the pata negra is the highest quality. That's the soup. Those are the ones going for the high dollar.
Yes, and that's it. Even within that, you have, like any other type of meat, you have a bit of a variety of what is the best of the best, and then a little bit still good. But so the best of the best would be the jamón ibérico de Bellota, which is acorn
Bellota.
bellota. I'm having a really hard time with my Spanish right now.
With your double L's.
I am
Don't worry. I have
bellota.
a million things I can't pronounce.
So that bellota means acorn. So those are the ones that, I mean, they're all sort of free range, but this one is 100% free range, and they're fed on these acorns, and they are the highest quality. So they're the special pig, fed on special food, fed at special times of year on special grass and everything. So everything's super special and very unique. And this is the highest level, and it is going to be very delicious.
And it is delicious. It melts in your
Mhm.
mouth. And then the next one would be the Amon Ibérico de Cebo de Campo, which is it's a long
That is a
title,
long title.
which is still free range Iberian
Mhm.
ham. But the pigs are fed on a mixture of food of acorns and grains and other natural foods and grasses. They are pigs. They eat everything.
Right.
But they control it a little bit more still in a free range environment, and it's still that same Iberian
Yeah, and the
pig.
free range areas that they are roaming on is called a dehesa, and that is these sort of very open areas of pasture that is sort of unique to certain areas of Spain that have the right types of acorns and grass and everything that they need to feed
Hmm.
on. So this is a special sort of area for that. And the third type is the jamón ibérico de Cebo. I say Cebo, you say Cebo. Depends, I guess, on what part of Spain, whether you do your thirst or not. And that is going to be primarily grain fed. So that is the three different ones, and it's still going to be really good, and it's still the fancy pig, but it's
Hmm.
but it's
Right.
grain fed. That'll
Right.
yeah
It's still got the genetics to make it good. It just doesn't have the same food, right?
yeah. So and
And
what
and
is
and in this,
you go ahead.
I was going to say, when in this with these different, we say what's the best and not so best. That is really subjective because there are people that are going to prefer the taste of one
True.
over the other.
Very true. But one of the things that does make it special, which technically is something that would be revered, is the fact that it has this type of pig has a marbling of the fat within the muscle that creates
Hmm.
technically a situation where the meat is really really nice because you have this marbling, and sometimes you'll see hamon that has meat and then it has a chunk of fat next
On
to
the
it on the
edge,
edge
right?
and stuff. So you're not going to get that so much with this type because it's going to be more marbled and that's sort of fancy. And also the
And you want to serve it at like a room temperature too, so
yes.
that fat starts
Oh my
melting and
god.
it makes it all moist and delicious
Yeah.
and
And I will
yum.
say with the when you get the expensive hamon, that that fat tends to just melt. It really does. And then
Hmm.
with the other types of hamon, even if you bring it to room temperature, it's still a sort of a slice of fat, kind of. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's
Hmm.
not melting quite to the same degree, which I think is part of it. Also, the high price is because of the aging process. So this type of hamon has a very long 24 to 48 months of aging, which
That's a long time
that's
to
a long
wait for
time to
deliciousness.
wait. But worth
How do
it.
you just stare at that leg hanging there?
How did the first person do it? I'm just going to wait years for
Right.
this, and without having another one that you're already eating. So
Right.
somebody started the process. Also, speaking of which, limited production, skilled labor, like these are all the things that sort of go into why this particular hamon is going to be more
And I'm
expensive.
sure it's family businesses keeping these secrets to themselves, only
I'm
allowing a
sure.
few members outside to know how to do their job, right?
Absolutely. I'm sure, yeah, traditional within a family. So that's that's the technically the expensive one, but like you said, each to their own. The Jamón
Each to their
Serrano,
own.
which is the mountain ham, is literally made from, well, white pigs or literally any other pig that isn't Iberian, is can be
Hmm.
a regular Jamón. So,
And it is more
mhm.
affordable. I will say I was at the store last night looking at packages of Haman and checking the prices, and I was like, maybe I do want the Bellota. And then I looked at the package, and I was like, 15 euros for like a serving? No, we're
Maybe
good. We'll
not.
get the Serrano today. Yeah, today was Serrano, kids. So
Yes, I mean, this is true. I'm still waiting for someone to gift me one of the Iberian ham legs. I mean, that would be awesome. With the
that would be
Speaking of the things, if you get the leg, you have to also get the stand that it comes with, which can also be purchased at varying prices, right?
from you can get those from 15 euros at the Chinese store to probably
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds at El Corte Inglés. That's chrome or sterling silver
Or
or
some
who
beautiful wood
knows.
with chrome, and then you basically you can have that in your house, which is not an experience that we have because we have too many animals, but you just have that ham on sitting there and you just slice it off as you need it, which is delightful, just not something that we've been able to do.
It would be disconcerting for me to have that huge leg, knowing that I have to finish that at some point in my life.
Yeah,
So,
you have to. Well, the good thing is it lasts for a long time. It's cured, so you don't have to finish it anytime soon. But even so, with the
right.
Jamon Serrano too, you have varying degrees of how fancy those are and how expensive they are. If you want to
Hmm.
let us know what those are.
So the first one is the bodega, which is it's a basic type of the Serrano home, but it has a shorter curing time between 10 to 12
Mm-hmm.
months. So that's like kind of the lower quality, I guess you could say, because it's a shorter time
Yeah.
frame.
And that's probably what you buy if you're going into the store and they have like a €1 pack of hamon. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just
Right.
hasn't been cured as long. It's still really good. It makes a great tostada or sandwich. Nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm
I'm
a
a
fan.
fan. And then there's the Homan Serrano Reserva, which is the next up in the higher quality, and the curing time in that is 12 to 15
Mhm.
months.
So it just gets better and better the longer it's cured. So you can see how the other one,
Right.
when you're starting with maybe a premier pig, and then you cure it for a year to whatever. I mean, it's gonna get good.
It's going to get
Yeah.
delicious. And then our top tier of the Serrano is the Gran Reserva, which is aged for more than 15
Yeah.
months. So that's
So
the
that's the
longest.
longest
And
of
then,
the longest of the lesser and still delicious. And then we have some little specialty areas. And let's see how my Spanish is going now. We have the jamón de Teruel. How's that? I did that
mm-hmm.
one okay.
That's it sounds great to me.
So that's an area, and that has that. So they have a special system over there, and so they've got a little bit famous. And then you also have the jamón de Treveles, another area. So these
Chaveles.
are regions of Spain that have kind of created their own specialty within the jamón.
And they can't be outside. It's
Yeah.
kind of like champagne can only come from this one region. These hams are here. And when we were doing this research last night, like I just said, I was looking at the hamons at the store, and I saw the one de Turiel, and it was quite expensive, so I didn't buy it. But I was like, I had never noticed that before, so I felt like I have learned
I
something
know.
and felt a little bit closer to our community from
Absolutely.
our
Well, I feel the
research.
same way because now I go and I'm like, oh, there's the Grand Reserva. And I had always thought when I saw that on packaging that was just something that each company that was making hamon was just like making up words, kind of like, we're going to call
Hmm.
this the Grand Reserva because it sounds like really fancy. But now I'm seeing, it's great to now see that this is actually a whole system that is run throughout the hamon so that everybody
There's a
knows.
method.
So
It's
I
not
kind of love, I love that we're doing this. It's awesome.
It's a method, not just a consumer
Right,
ploy,
right.
right? Consumption
Now
ploy.
you had a friend that was telling you, which I don't have enough experience with hamon to know this, but you had a friend that was telling you about the different cuts within the leg, which I don't think is listed on the packaging, but maybe if you have your own leg or something.
Well, and you go and there's a lot when you go to the grocery stores, they do have like a deli counter. They have like 5 legs lined up, and people are getting freshly. They'll have it in the prepackaged stuff, but people are like, nope, I want it cut from
Mm-hmm.
the pig right now. And there's certain areas, and some people were like, you're not at the area I want, so I don't want that, because there's areas with more fat and with less fat. So some people want it more less fat, and because they like
Uh,
that drier
yeah.
consistency, and some people want it more moist. And the maza or mate area is located between the shank, which is the middle part of the leg, and the hip. And this, a lot of people would consider is the best because it's very tender. That's going to have a lot of the marbleization, the
Mm,
juiciness, all that kind of rich flavor. But the shank and the butt also have their own characteristics. The butt is going to have more fat, and then the shank end is going to be the less fat, kind of
right. So different people
more
might like
tough.
different parts, right?
Right.
Love it. And then, so I, like I said, haven't tried all the different parts and how to. We need a hamon tasting. This would be a good thing to go do. My so
Yes.
another thing which doesn't kind of, it's not technically hamon, but I do have a friend that is from the Leon region north of Madrid, and they have a what I call, and every Spanish person is going to cry when they hear this. They have something what I call a beef hamon. So it's a cured beef, and it's called a cecina in Spanish, and that is a cured beef, and it is. I'm so hamon has a flavor, and the Iberian hamon has a different flavor a little bit. If you start getting the beef one is, it's not just a different flavor; it's more flavorful in my opinion. Just like very, very.
It
Oh
bursts
my
in your
gosh.
mouth. It bursts in your mouth. And I have just started seeing it at the grocery store here.
Mm.
So keep an eye, because I saw one lone section of package. I
Oh
was
my
like, that's the
gosh.
beef. Because I had tried it like a year ago from the specialty
Oh, okay.
store, and then it was at the Mercadal. I was like, let me get it. And the other thing that they have there is they have it also out of rabbit. They have a
Oh my
cured rabbit
gosh.
meat as
I
well.
don't know if I want to go down that road, but that's kind of cool. Did you try it or you didn't get in?
It is
It
delicious.
is.
No, of course I got it.
I don't know. Yeah, but I mean,
I mean, when I'm in Spain, I'm in all hog. You know what I mean?
yeah, if you're gonna do it, just go all in. So I think there's this cecina is something that is known, but there's also a specialty, like we talked about the different areas of the hamon. There's a cecina de Leon, which is a specialty within that area, and
Okay.
it's definitely worth a try if anyone comes here and tries it. It's the hind quarter of the cow that's cured and salted and dried for 7 months or longer. So it's not cured actually as long as the hamons, even the lesser
Hmm.
hamons, which I think is interesting, but worth a try.
I wonder if it's a fat issue. I'm gonna throw that out. So no, maybe cows have less. Maybe the cows are leaner, so they don't need as much time to dry out some
Maybe,
of
or maybe
that
they don't
fat.
need it for the flavor because I think the curing creates more flavor, and there is an insane amount of flavor already by the time that I've tried it. So, or maybe there are ones that do it for longer. This is just kind of what our little research. So we'll research some more. In
And if you know, let us
Yes,
know. Let us know what you
let us know
know.
what you know about these Poco a Pocos too. Absolutely.
Because not so much do we love sharing information, we also love learning.
Yes,
So
absolutely. Well,
until next
until next
time.
time. Thank you for listening to Our Spain Poco a Poco. Since you love us so much, please do go on to our social media and follow us and like us and subscribe where you're listening, because it really does help us to grow and stick around and do what we are very much enjoying doing.
And give us a shout out on the social medias. Give us a comment on what you would like to hear us talk about. I mean, we like to hear ourselves speak, but we do want to make this informative for our listeners.
Absolutely, yeah. You can comment on one of our posts, or you can send us a message through our Spain Facebook page or Instagram. So we would love to hear from you.
Yes, we would. Till the next episode.
Bye.